Hello guys and gals, me Alex, and welcome back to another brand time? We're gonna call it discussion time. I forgot we're sticking to that now. But today, ladies and gentlemen, I feel like we got a little something to talk about here. It's not something anything new, but I feel like it's a discussion that I've seen surface quite around, and to be quite frankly with you, I've seen it evolve over time, and it's quite interesting. As you can probably tell with the title, it's about microtransactions. Now, the reason I want to talk about this is because, honestly, I want to kind of get down to where I want to know where it originally came from. I've done a little research behind it, and honestly, there really is no hard answer to it. But on a side note, with microtransactions in such wonderful high, you know those V-Bucks, man, they're in high demand, my dudes. And so fuck Bitcoins, my dog. Just go straight into V-Bucks and spend your life savings on that. Well, God, I don't know, man. Sleep insomnia is taking the worst of me. But honestly, ladies and gentlemen, I'm quite interested about microtransactions because if you honestly look at it, it's really changed the gaming evolution quite substantially. I wouldn't say entirely, but it definitely has a good 20 to 40% grasp of how video games play these days. Now, with being good and bad, we're not talking about EA standards just yet, but let's talk about the goods that microtransaction does have. Now, considering that most free games, like mostly on the mobile platform, which is a very, very high probability that you're going to have a microtransaction, almost 100% of the time, but still, microtransactions on free games are needed, I would say, as a pro, because let's be honest, for the game in order to be free, it's got to make some kind of income, and downloads ain't going to cut it for it. I mean, nothing comes free essentially, and even if it's you watching an ad or something on the app you're playing on or whatever it is, they have to make their money too with sponsorships and all that sort of stuff. And that's fair. I would give it, I give it a 10 out of 10. Everyone's got to make money somehow, and I give them full credit to that. But then when you start to take off and start using it for, you pay for a game that, say, let's take for instance Killing Floor, or I don't know, COD or Battlefield, essentially, or what's that game called? Rainbow Six. Essentially, you pay for a game, and then afterwards, they want you to they'll entice you a little bit with the you get a loot box of some sort, and it becomes almost like a gambling addiction essentially. And just like how we've spoke about in the past with the addictions, you want more of them. And honestly, it bothers me in the microtransaction section where you do gain something out of it, and that is true. You get a reward essentially for your hard work, your good plays. You always get rewarded, and I respect games a whole lot when you do that. My issue is when you start to get into the territory. I'll use PUBG for instance because it seems like I have the most chest in there. They essentially will give you a chest, but afterwards you have to buy keys in order to open them, and keys are not obtainable as to my knowledge at this moment. And I'm not trying to shit on PUBG or anything. It's just like that game, for instance, I pay money to actually play the game, but yet I have to spend more money in order to get cosmetic items just to, beef up the appearance of my character, which, doesn't really make any fucking sense when it's like, I could take that money and go buy myself a new t-shirt or some bullshit. But, the whole point I'm trying to get into is, honestly, I'm not a huge fan of the concept where you pay for a game essentially, like not even PUBG for instance, but like Killing Floor. I adore Killing Floor. It's one of my favorite games of all time, and yet there's so many cosmetic items, even gun skins. I mean, down to camos, recolor skin, all that sort of stuff. And it does have its pros in a sense where some people actually make a fucking living off these sort of things, where they'll obtain certain rare skins and all and sell them back off for major profit. And, it works out to an extent. I don't know if you can make a living off of it, but it does have it has its pros and cons. But honestly, seeing how you pay a substantial amount, like $30 to $40 for a game, let's say, like we're using that as a base model price, and then you have to spend an extra $5 to almost $10 to obtain a key just to open up a chest that I didn't really even give a shit about opening in the first place. It kind of rubs you the wrong way. Now, the way Overwatch has it, or the way Blizzard set up their system, is pretty nice, I must say. It's the way they have it for Overwatch, every time you obtain one, or a loot box, you get to open it. It works in your leveling system. It's great. It makes everybody happy. You know, we can end it off there, but you do have the opportunity to buy more loot boxes at your own leisure, which, you know, I'm not saying that's wrong or anything, but, you know, it entices you. It makes you want certain things like, you know, certain skins, more rarities, and everyone's got to have the newest skin that comes out or some sort. And, you know, the rarities behind it, I don't know too much about. I know that it's a big thing with CSGO, of all things. I have a few buddies that play CSGO, you know, when it comes down to the knives and all, and certain skins for guns, you know, some people are really, really into that sort of shit. And me, personally, I'm not a huge fan of it. I play pretty much CSS a lot to the point where CSGO really didn't... I got tired of it quickly, and, you know, I moved on to other games. Not saying it's a bad game. It's a great game. It's just... The community behind a lot of these microtransaction games are... I wouldn't say pay to winish, but it's becoming to a point where microtransactions practically is another fundamental way for the game in order to make money. Aside from you actually paying for the game, you have to fork up a little bit more in order to get that cosmetic skin that you want, or even buy the skin itself with actual money. Killing Floor is a prime example of that. Or even CSGO, or Team Fortress, or anything, I think. I'm pretty sure you can, but even down to Hearthstone too, it's, you know, they give you a little leeway, which is normal, and that's like any other company. I mean, they'll give you a little leeway, they'll give you a taste of what you actually want, and that's how they rope you in. Afterwards, when you start to give in more and more, and you start to buy all these sort of things, I mean, they're really gaining some good money off of you. Not saying I've never done it in my life, I've done it many, many times. I mean, look at Elsword, for instance. I actually played the shit out of that game, and I almost wanted to spend almost a fucking like $50 to almost $80 one time. And, you know, I restrained myself at one point. I was like, dude, is it really worth $80 fucking dollars? And if we all know, yeah, kaching cash in that game is and not cheap, not fucking cheap whatsoever. But I don't want to drag this video on too long, ladies and gentlemen. This is more of a discussion. I want to hear what you guys think about microtransactions. Is it beneficial to you? Do you feel like it's all that great? I mean, honestly, with microtransactions in process, there's a lot of games out there too that are forcing the pay to win a section, and that's for a different discussion. But still, I don't know. I feel like microtransactions has its pros and cons, but all honesty, I really, really feel like it's just another reason to make another side profit off the game instead of, you know, just playing the game and earning a reward for fun. I mean, I know content is content, but hey, you know, I guess everyone's got to make money somehow. But ladies and gentlemen, I think I've dragged this video on long enough. If you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike if you dislike it. This is me, Alex, and I hope you guys enjoyed today's video.